Hi, my relatives. On today's episode of Our Storytellers, we're joined by Kelly Kesler. Kelly is a member of our family through kinship ties. Actually, she's married to my Uncle Warren, which is Yvonne's brother. And Kelly has had an interesting life. You know, she's Bill C-31, so she regained her status a little bit later on in life. And she actually took care of Granny Barb Nahanee for a long time and helped her and supported her through dialysis. And for those of you that don't know, Granny Barb is actually the very first episode. She's the very first guest of Our Storytellers ever, which is how we ended up here. So it was great to hear those stories as well and just connect that way. But this podcast is actually brought to you by our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office. So thank you so much for allowing us for funding us to bring these local matriarchs and these local stories to life. It just felt right to give it back to the community. So thank you so much to our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office. And without further ado, please welcome to the Our Storytellers podcast, Kelly Kesler.
Hello, my relatives. How are you? Here at Our Storytellers, we care about your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being, which is why we want to inform you that this podcast discusses topics that may cause trauma to listeners and viewers. These subjects include mentions of Indian residential schools, assimilation, ongoing harm, colonial impacts, and much more. Our Storytellers recognizes the need to minimize the risks associated with traumatic subject matter. The Hope for Wellness helpline offers immediate help to all Indigenous people across Canada. It is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to offer immediate support and crisis intervention. Services are available in English and French, and in Nehiyaw, Anishinaabe and Inuktitut upon request. If you or someone you know are experiencing any harm, no matter how big or small it's perceived to be, you can call the toll-free helpline at 1-855-242-3310 or connect to the online chat at www.hopeforwellness.ca. Kinanaskuman, I'm grateful for you. Your ancestors are always with you. All my relations, Riel.
My name is Riel. I have this protocol here for you, and I'm Métis from Nehiyaw and Soto background, and I've been part of Mom's family since I was 11 years old and grew up with Tyler and Brandon and Nick and everybody. So we have a blanket and tobacco here for you, and we have some honorarium here for you that's actually funded by our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office, who help fund these 20 episodes of our podcast. So I'm going to pass this over to you and just introduce yourself in your own way, really.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. My name is Kelly Kesler. I'm from the Gitxsan Nation. I've been living on this land here for the last 15 years. So, yeah, I really like it out here. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing. Tell us a little bit about how you grew up.
I grew up in a single mom family home with my sister. Grew up in Port Coquitlam, so white neighborhoods. I didn't know anything about that I was Aboriginal or anything until I was 14.
Really?
Yeah, my mom didn't tell me anything, but when we became old enough to get our status, she's told us a little bit about being Aboriginal. I didn't know what it meant to be Aboriginal. You know, I'm 14 years old.
Yeah.
It's like she didn't tell me nothing. Like, I don't know a lot of my history, but I do know a little bit about it. My grandparents didn't tell us lots of stories. I guess because of the whole residential school, right? My grandma and grandpa both went to residential school, and they took my aunties and my uncles away from the reserve so they wouldn't have to go through that.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So none of them went to residential school. They all went to white school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did they move everybody to Port Coquitlam? Or?
I think it was Surrey. They lived in Surrey.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and then they moved around a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so did you, what was growing up like in the house?
It was a lot of tension. My mom worked, so it was my sister's job to look after me. And so whenever I was grounded, she would have to take me with her, right, to go see her friends or whatever. So she, came somewhat annoyed with me, but, we get along.
You get along today?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And then, so you're growing up, Poco Quitlam. Did you like school?
I hated school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got made fun a lot of.
Oh.
So there are a lot of cruel kids. Because kids are the cruelest, how they make fun of each other and tease each other, just, I'm not okay with that, right? It's not something that kids should be doing to other kids.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had a rough upbringing, but once I moved away from home and was on my own, I was able to become myself, know who I am as a person, and that I wasn't going to do that to people. I was going to be a kind person to everybody who I met, whether they were nice to me or not.
Really? Well, that's great.
Yeah.
When did
we need more of that in the world, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about 17 when I moved away from home and decided, I'm not going to live my life in a negative way. I want to be a positive person, and attempted to go back to school several times, but got pregnant young, so I was a mom, bringing up my kids, and 3 lovely kids I have.
So
Yeah.
what's the mix?
2 girls and 1 boy.
2 girls and 1 boy.
Yeah.
And
The boy's the oldest, the girls are younger.
yeah.
Yeah. And my oldest daughter is already married. She got married last summer. It was really nice going there and seeing that. My son, he's actually like me. He's more like me. And troublemaker when he was younger. And I actually didn't know where he was for the last couple of months. So I was asking people where he was. Second stage recovery house in Surrey.
Oh, wow.
I was like, could never be more proud.
Yeah. Good for him.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm like, that's all we want for our kids, right? Is the best for them. And I hated seeing him struggle so much, and would never reach out for help. We always tell him we're there for him if he ever needs us or whatever. But no. And I'd love to be able to teach them, the Gitxsan history.
Yeah.
Lily now, she has Squamish and Gitxsan. She knows more Squamish than she would Gitxsan right now.
Yeah.
But I want to incorporate that in her life slowly, if she's
So
willing.
are you
right?
learning more about?
I'm learning more about us as a people that we're potluck people,
Yeah.
and so we have lots of potlucks, and they last like hours. In like 3 a.m. in the morning, they're still going strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that you're not allowed to deny anything. Like you're sitting at the table, you can't say no, I don't want that to eat. You would take just a little bit, but you can't turn away anything. It's not polite. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Where are the Gitxsan people from?
Hazelton, up north.
Up north.
Yeah, Smithers area up that way.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. So they're also weavers too.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there's
We were
lots
in lots of fishing and
and hunting.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
So
Have you been up there?
I spent 9 months living with my mom the last time she lived there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a really small reserve. Not a lot for the people to do up there. I think if they would, think of things that their children would like to do and incorporate into the land, it would deter more drugs and alcohol. The use that's up there, right? Because it's really bad.
It's one of the it's
Yeah.
a problem up on their reserve.
Yeah. I actually had a cousin who they never did any hard drugs, and somebody slipped him some hard drugs. He ended up stabbing one of our other cousins in the back.
Oh dear.
He's serving life in prison.
Wow.
Can't go back to our reserve because drugs were brought by the white people to our land. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
that's sad.
It's just sad,
Yeah,
right?
It is sad. It's very.
There's no need for it. Yeah.
Well, you graduate your mom for a little while, and then or for forever, I guess, not for a little while, your mom forever.
Yeah.
And then, so when did you start learning about Gitxsan history and who the people
Been the
are?
last 10 years.
Last 10 years?
Yeah.
And how did you get into it? Like, how did that start?
I was more curious of where our people came from, what were they like back in the day, and my goal was to have a conversation with my grandfather in Gitxsan before he died, but that didn't get to happen. So, but I mean, I'm still working at the language. I did have the tapes and the books. They got stored under the stairs at Mom's house.
Is that one of those things?
It got thrown out.
Oh,
Yeah, Dad threw them out. Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's okay, it's okay. He didn't know they were mine.
right.
So I totally forgave him for that a long time ago, right? It's water under the bridge. But now that I know you can find it online, I'm going to start doing it more and more. And then hopefully I'll be able to teach my kids.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what's like did you receive any family stories or anything like that growing up about?
Not a lot.
Not a lot?
No. And maybe I did and I just don't remember, but I don't recall.
Yeah.
I know I spent lots of time with both grandparents, but I don't remember stories. Yeah.
What was your grandpa like?
My grandpa, he was really chill back. You know, he loves hockey and loved getting together with the family. The boys would all, you know, be watching hockey, drinking their beer, and the women would be talking, doing whatever with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your grandma like?
My grandparents weren't together, so I seen my grandparents separately. So, but I didn't know that my grandma was Gitxsan and my grandpa was Gitxsan. I just thought one of them was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we were told we were the third generation, right? But my mom would be full because both of her parents were. But because my parents were, I should be half, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but they're trying to say I'm only a third. Is
Maybe.
that from Bill C-31 or whatever?
It's hard to say. I think I kind of hear some nations that make suggestions, like they try to create blood quantum letters without actually doing blood tests. Like our nation tries that with our children.
Yeah.
They send letters, and I'm like, I've seen it because it came for Nick.
Yeah.
I phoned them and I'm like, why are you giving, I said, did you take a blood test? And they're like, no, we're just sending these letters, you know, we're trying something out. Well, stop.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another one of those situations.
Yeah.
You should
I'd
check
have to
and ask them where that comes from
Yeah.
without them knowing.
Yeah. Because it's not right, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, my relatives, super quick pause in this episode of Our Storytellers just to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office. The Indigenous Screen Office supports Indigenous narrative sovereignty through storytelling on screen. They provide grants to small podcasts like us to support our growth and to support the guests that we can have come on. Big thanks to them. Please check them out on Instagram. Please check out their website. You never know, there might be an opportunity for you on there, especially if you're creating content. Get out there and check them out. Thank you so much to our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office. Back to the podcast.
What was your dad?
My dad he's white, German, Scottish, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they met when they were in Surrey. And I don't know how somehow they ended up in Edmonton. That's where they had my sister.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then they moved to the Okanagan and had me.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're split up by the time I was 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
your mom-
so, yeah,
That's why you
yeah,
said
I
your
grew
mom
up-
was in
Single mom,
Indigenous.
yeah.
Wow. Yep.
And we spent a month out of every summer with our father. He would come and get us and bring us wherever he was. And
Was he working?
yes, he worked at the wood mill in Kelowna
Oh,
for over 30 years.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah, so
same place,
stable
same
job.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you go and stay there with him
Yeah.
one
Went through
month a
2
year.
marriages with him. two half brothers.
oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Yeah.
One from each.
Yeah, one from each woman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeff and Jordan. So both me and my sister's initials are KK, and the boys are JK. I didn't know why it was that way, but it turned out that way. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you have like a family memory or something like that that's always stuck with you?
It's just the amount of time family loves to spend with each other. Always going over to aunties' houses on the island, or going to see grandpa, or going to see grandma. Family was very important. But as the years grew on, it wasn't seem as important. But we have what's called Holland stock that we do try to do every year. Try to get as many family members as possible to come.
What Holland stock?
Yeah, it's because we're Hollands. My grandpa's a Holland.
Okay.
So we call it Holland
like
stock.
Woodstock, but
Yeah,
Holland
yeah,
stock.
Oh,
yeah.
Holland
So,
stock.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's what they call their family reunion.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
What are those like?
They're good. You know, you get to meet your new cousins you haven't seen in a while, or ones that you grew up with and haven't seen in years. You know, I have a cousin who's almost the same age as me. I haven't seen in a while. His name was Josh, and the last family reunion we went to, we just had a ball, just catching up. You know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What does family mean to you?
Family means people who will love you unconditionally, accept you for all your flaws and your good qualities too. Help you when you're down if they can. Just someone who's always there for you.
Always there for you.
Yeah.
What does family mean to you, Mom?
Oh. Well, I guess it's kind of in layers, right? Because it's like
It does. It comes in layers.
it's like all of my children and my partner. You know, they're my inner circle, if you will. And then my siblings and their children are in that, just kind of against that. And then we've got, like everybody else, like this, I could consider this community my family. And the more I get to know
Yeah.
many of the families that are here, I realize how completely related we are. So they really are family in that sense.
There are so many people that are like really blood related.
Totally here.
Yeah.
It's so absolute, right? And then you kind of, so, and then I have like this, you can call them adopted family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That are layered around that.
Yeah.
And they're all the people that we spend a lot of time with, that we care very deeply for, that
Yeah.
care deeply for us.
Yeah.
So, we consider each other family. It's a mutual feeling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't think
Yeah.
that blood had to be the connection for it, because
No.
most of those people are Indigenous, so they are part of that kind of
Yeah.
circle of family that we have.
Yeah.
And I mean, my dad had family like that. He came from Switzerland.
Yeah.
The people that he ended up living with became his family.
Exactly.
They cared deeply for him. They
Yeah.
did all kinds of things together. They grew up. They raised their kids together.
Yeah.
They kind of were always connected.
Yeah.
So they were his.
Someone you're
family.
gonna always have a connection with.
Yeah, well, he was orphaned as,
Yeah,
essentially
that's
he
what Lauren
was
was
a
saying,
product of the Swiss government's child welfare project.
Wow.
So around the wartime, they gathered up kids and they rounded them all up and they put them into foster homes. They had group homes. They had foster homes. It was very much I guess it's kind of like a 60 scoop thing.
Yeah.
So he
they
had a
felt
really-
totally displaced too, right?
Totally. So, and when he came to Canada, he understood what child welfare was doing here. So Mom and Dad moved us around, and Dad was the one that did most of the caregiving rather than Mom,
Yeah.
because they didn't want to take a chance that they would take him from her.
Yeah.
So I think that was part of what kind of encouraged him to encourage her to go to school, to go and work away from home, to do many of those things, right?
And it wasn't something that was normal. You never really saw a man that back in the day stay home and take care of the kids, and the woman go out and do that. And I just find that's amazing. That he
was very much
encouraged her.
He really was that way, right?
Yeah.
For the listener, I guess too, like your partner's with Uncle Warren,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, you got to spend a lot of time with Granny
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
With
I
both
got to
parents.
take care of.
With both parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was alive. We were living with them before Bruce passed,
Right.
and Warren was taking care of both of his parents. And
What was that like for you guys? Because you spent years.
It could be stressful at times, but most of the time, it was a good home.
Yeah.
You know, I learned a lot from your mom, a lot about the Squamish people, a lot about your family, just by being the one who's typing her books up, right?
Right.
So I learned a lot of the history there, and I was just like in awe, you know, of the women in your family and how dedicated they are to their families.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what are some
Just-
stories? Like,
How they came, the Kanaka Ranch came from Hawaii to Kanaka Ranch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that were there, because she was related to that. The one who created Kanaka Ranch.
Yeah.
Was her father was from Upper Squamish. Her mom was from Kethler.
Yeah.
So they were still connected, and then she married the Hawaiian men.
Yeah.
And started that line of essentially the Nahanees.
Yeah.
what's the full story for the listener, Mom? So,
So her name is Mary Siemia.
Yeah.
So she was born in 1844. She died in 1905. She grew up the daughter of a chief. So she was a winter dancer. She traveled, as she grew up, of course, she traveled with her parents up and down the river, and they did a lot of trading and a lot of kind of traveling and movement and harvesting, hunting, fishing. So, but when she grew up, she met a man named Ihu Nahu, who was Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And then she met Joe Nahanee. So she actually had children with both men. She actually married both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And they relocated from kind of Moodyville, which is out in the valley.
Yeah.
And they moved into and created Kanaka Ranch.
which is on Stanley Park.
Which is on Stanley Park.
Yeah.
And they did things like they made coal to sell. They grew food. They raised chickens and cows and ducks, and they fished.
I know, it's
so
hard
they
to
did all
imagine
kinds of
that was a
things.
ranch.
It was an active ranch that kind of fed the local people and provided, for the mill workers and other things. So people would come and get their eggs, and or they would deliver them, because it was common in those days that deliveries would have been done, right?
Yeah.
And Kanaka Ranch was active for quite a while, and Joe Nahanee and Mary Siemia's son was William Nahanee. William Nahanee had 5 wives over the course of his lifetime, and he had children with them, and they were all Squamish women.
Yeah.
All from different families.
Yeah.
So a lot of the Nahanees came through. There are many connections through families, just from those initial marriages, right?
Yeah.
So Mary Siemia was not Squamish, though.
Yes, she was.
Oh, she was
Her
Squamish.
father was,
Okay.
and her mother was from Stalo, from Kethler.
Oh, okay. That's all making sense now.
So she was, and then they were connected through relation to Katsalano,
Okay.
because she was born before Katsalano.
She was born before Katsalano.
She was, yes. She'd be more
Which
like
Katsalano?
August Jack.
Before August Jack.
Well,
Okay.
she was born 1844. He was born 1877. So she would have been an older woman when, like, with children and
Okay.
by the time he was born.
I'm learning right now. Hi, my relatives. If you're enjoying this podcast, or if you have any feedback on this podcast, please let us know, because we're always trying to get better at the same time. But especially if you're enjoying this podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think we have some really cool projects coming out that you might want to check out. Please follow us on Spotify. Share our reels as well too. That helps us out so much. And yeah, just check us out. Share the word. We're working really hard to keep this content coming for you. And the support helps us out so much, and we're so grateful. Thank you so much for listening. Back to the podcast.
So then, what happened to do we know what happened to the other line, the Ihu line?
I don't know as much about Ihu's line, but I hear about this Hawaiian connection, and it's Nahu, I believe, is the
Ihu Nahu.
Nahu, not or Nahinu, right?
Yeah.
So it gets mixed up with Nahanee.
So because she has 6 kids, is that what you said?
No, she had she had at least one child with each of these men.
Okay.
Yeah.
But from there, those children married and had children, and those children were then, like William Nahanee was Joe and Mary's son, but he, over the course of his lifetime, had 5 marriages.
Yeah.
Right. So
And they're all like, when you look in the genealogy, it's recorded like several names and then the children from all that.
okay.
So like their grandchildren.
That's why there's 500 Nahanees now.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the women that he married was Cecilia Johnny, who was a granddaughter to, I believe she's a granddaughter to Kethler. She's related through. So the family lines are all quite
They're
so
intertwined.
blended
Yeah.
and woven together that it's, as you put together all those lineages, you get, people are they just weave them all back together because a lot of them kind of intermarried too, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they had to talk to the women in order to make sure they didn't date or, marry too close to the family lines. So
Yeah.
people knew this because the community brought the children together, and then they
Yeah.
would know who the kids were, who their parents were, who the grandparents were. It's one of those ways that we introduce ourselves formally by saying, my grandparents are Eva and Lauren Nahanee. My parents are Bruce and Barb Weiss.
Yeah.
And I am Yvonne Weiss.
Okay.
So it helps when you're in community to identify where you come from.
Okay, so in the great words of August Jack, you teach me in the canoe and I'll repeat it back to you. So I'll repeat what I just heard. Okay. So Mary Siemia, her parents are Stalo, one is Squamish.
Yes.
She has 2 husbands, Nahu Ihu and Joe Capilano.
No, Joe Nahanee.
Joe Nahanee, sorry. And they're both Hawaiian.
Yes.
And they both come off of a ship somewhere.
Yep. They came in from the tall ships that passed through and came to the coast of Vancouver.
Okay.
So
And
they were
then-
navigators. They were Portuguese. There were Spanish that came as well. But in our family lineage, it's the Hawaiians.
So then, from there, Mary has a son named William Nahanee,
Yes.
who then has 5 wives
Yes.
and a bunch of kids.
Yes.
And bada bing, bada boom, we're off to the Nahanee races.
There we are. Yes. We had a family reunion, right? It was about 15 years ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And, well, actually, it was more than that, but I think it was actually more like 20 plus years ago because Tasha was just a small child.
Yeah.
Nicholas was a baby. And I don't think Lily was here,
No.
right?
Not yet.
So, and that's when we got, they had a big gathering of all the Nahanees, and there were over 500 then that came.
Gotcha.
And not sure who all of their parents, grandparents, and all that was, but there was a huge gathering. And from that, everybody was, we talked about the DNA being done and how the Hawaiian lineage was tied to that. There was a big issuing of Hawaiian status cards.
Was there actually?
Yeah, there was actually.
So do just the Nahanees have
Hawaiian status cards?
I believe so, but I think they're more in like symbolism to the connection to the ancestry than they are in actual, like, because they're not, it wouldn't be considered citizenship of any sort. Right. It would be, it's more about symbolism that they accept that the family lines came over here. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yes, totally. Okay.
I'm trying to put it in a way that kind of flows and actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Back to you, Kelly. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
But so you got to spend a lot of time with Granny. What was Granny like for you? Because to me, she just hit on me the whole time.
Flirty.
Yeah, flirty.
She has her good and her bad qualities. We're both cancers, so we butt heads a lot. But we have a lot in common when it comes to Warren. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's a lot where a lot of her sympathy for me came from, is knowing what I endure with Warren.
Oh, gotcha. What would you like? What was from your perspective? What was like a day in her life like? Like, what was her routine like?
Up early. Sometimes she'd to bed early, but sometimes she couldn't sleep. So she'd be up at 5. I miss being up at 5 with her and making her breakfast on her dialysis days. So that was what I would do. I would get up at 5. I would go up, make her breakfast, make sure she ate before dialysis, make sure she had her meds. That's what Warren's routine was before he had his stroke. But once he had his stroke, he couldn't go upstairs and take care of Mom anymore. So I took over. I didn't mind because the fact she welcomed me into her home. And she didn't know me from... She visited us once in Kelowna. So she didn't know me very well, but she's gotten to know me, and I told her plenty of times how much I respected her, how much I loved her. Granny made me feel more of a family than my own family sometimes. So it's nice to have that, right?
What was Papa Bruce like in here?
Loud. He swore lots, yeah.
Yeah, Swiss guy swears lots.
But he had a lot of accomplishments himself, like his shooting, all his trophies.
For the listener that doesn't know, Granny Barb Nahanee and Bruce Weiss, they came together, had their first daughter in 1964. Boom, mom right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And this is kind of the family connection that we're seeing here. We're grabbing all these stories from family members across these podcasts, which has been amazing. So it's a gift to have you here to be able to talk about Granny and hear what it's like, because
she had a lot of accomplishments, If it wasn't for her, women wouldn't have their status today. She was a big part of why women got their status back. And I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. You were part of that, I suppose.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had status today if she didn't fight for women to have their status back if they married white men.
Yeah, that's true.
And when we say somebody is a Bill C-31, that's what we mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, she told me that story. She told me that story on this podcast. She was our first podcast guest ever.
Nice.
Yeah, so she told me that story about how she was going to Ottawa to fight for it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of women. There was a lot of women involved in that.
Yeah.
In fighting to get their statuses back, and
I bet you there's a lot of them that don't know behind that Barbara Weiss did fight a lot to have that brought back, right? And there's a lot of people who disrespected her that if they knew that, they probably wouldn't have disrespected her.
Really?
Yeah.
Disrespected Granny.
Kind of a hard life, though, too, right?
Yeah.
And kind of a residential school survivor living in the world that we lived in. She still had to,
But then the abuse on top of that at home that she put up with, too, right?
Yeah, with,
Yeah. There was a lot of that. And
home care support, health, the nation supports and things like that weren't always easy to deal with, right? Especially when they took away like local nation members that were providing her care, that really cared for her, and they changed it to like the Vancouver, like a service as an agency, as opposed to, you know, actual people that were working for the nation, or they started hiring
like
people
when
that weren't even from our.
I know. It's like when I stopped seeing people like Kathy Carpenter come over and be working with Mom to other people, and it's like, you're not even a Squamish Nation. Like, I don't get it. Shouldn't you be hiring your own people?
Yeah, there were a lot of issues in the last few years that that she had to kind of struggle and deal with. I remember she was catching the Handy Dart bus, and she, in the early days, up to dialysis, so she'd get on the bus with her walker.
Yep.
And one of the other patients they picked up was an old white guy who was like Scottish or something, but super racist to her. Like, he would get angry that he was on the same bus as my mother.
Yeah.
And it got so bad that when they ended up in the waiting room one day, she went to walk past him and he pushed her walker out of the way, so she nearly fell. And it was just a really mean thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's like we had to complain, and we kept complaining, and I said, this is, like, enough is enough. You know, she's elderly, she has health issues, she's there for dialysis. You need to do something about this. So they finally started going to where she was the only one going on those days, and not on the day that this guy was going.
Yeah.
So they actually had to change her to a different day and put her on a different ride schedule in order to sort that problem out.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is recent time. It's still, so she had challenges like that.
Yeah.
And living here in our own community, here in our own lands.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you she was really grateful to have you, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, she liked to complain and do her own protesting.
Yeah.
She sent everybody emails. She sent. she never hesitated to phone and tell them what the wherefore was.
Yeah. Yeah. Not afraid to say, talk whatever was on her mind. And I love that about your mother.
You'll
though.
get an earful.
Yeah. Yeah. We hit heads a couple times.
Well, she would definitely always say something, and then she'd ask for reinforcement, so I'd have to write a letter too, right? So she'd want to make sure that it was doubly heard.
Yeah.
I find this very therapeutic because she's been passed for over a year now, so
Yeah.
I really haven't spoken about her at all for a whole year. So
Yeah, we miss her dearly.
Yeah, so it's definitely.
Do you think she's ever in the house?
I know she visits the house.
Right.
Cease has actually said that Lily has seen her. Yeah, Lily's seen her a couple times.
In the house?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, but it's a good spirit, right? Because, Granny loved Lily and she loved Sanakula. I spent lots of time with both of them, so.
Yeah.
She helped both of them with school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, eh?
Yeah.
If you could have dinner or make breakfast for one of your ancestors, which one would it be?
It would be my great granny.
Your great granny.
Yeah.
What would you ask her?
I would ask her more about our people and what it was like growing up for her.
Yeah.
It was like what it was like back then.
So great granny. So what would that be? Early 1900s, I
Probably,
guess?
yeah. I only got to see my great granny a couple of times before she passed.
What do you remember about her?
Her smell, her talk, just how she sounded. I can still hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that I'm going to always treasure,
Where was she? Where were you
Vancouver.
visiting? Vancouver.
Yeah.
So she lived down here?
Yeah.
So did
Away. Yeah.
everybody moved away?
Basically, I don't think there's too much of my family left up there.
Really? That's interesting.
I have a couple second cousins and stuff, my mom's cousins and stuff. But yeah, most of them moved away from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty rural community
Yeah.
up in Hazelton.
Yeah.
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 That's wild.
Yeah.
So then, like, as you've been reconnecting over the years, I mean, like, what does ceremony mean to you now?
Ceremony means much more to me than it ever has in the past. I understand it more. It gives us a sense of not just accomplishment, but growing up. It's a sign that tells us that we are growing. You know, I never got to experience any ceremonies at all when I was growing up because I knew nothing of my people and my mom never told us anything. I think I went to one potluck when I was up there, the 9 months I lived there, but I was never, you know, to a naming ceremony or anything like that. I wouldn't even know where to begin. No.
What has learning about your history, how has that changed how you see yourself?
It makes me see like how exactly strong I am, how very important women are. You know, you need women to be able to reproduce. There would be no more people if there were no women.
True, that
is
gifted people for sure.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have that out without men either, right? Because without them, you can't make the babies.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're genetically modified women, I think, at the end of it, right? Right? Isn't that how that works?
And then they spend the rest of your lives trying to be like them.
Exactly. We're trying to, I don't know.
Or
but,
with them.
Or with them. Get back around them. No, for sure. That's definitely a gift that can't be overlooked 100%.
Yeah.
That's why we're from a matriarch community.
Yeah.
Because that's what...
I didn't know that, right? I didn't know that most Aboriginal lines follow the women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just learned that recently.
Our belly button connection.
Yes.
In the Cree, they call it your Utsi connection.
Oh, wow.
And I think for us, we have our name for belly button is what? Wuchia?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's still the belly button connection.
Yeah.
The similarities that
Yeah, I always heard,
our lineages follow, right?
I was told that there's a lot of tongue and throat in the Gitxsan language, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
A lot of guttural language speaking,
Yeah.
right? Very similar to
Yeah.
Squamish Snitchum
Yeah.
in that way too, I think.
Yeah.
Very much a from the throat language.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you're choking something up.
Yes, yeah.
If you could go back and give your younger self some advice, what advice would you give your younger self?
Stay in school, tough it out. School is so important. You cannot succeed in life without education today. You get nowhere without the education.
Interesting.
You even need education now to work at McDonald's. Okay, so education is very important. Yes. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I loved working at McDonald's. That's so funny that you say that because that's exactly what Granny told me on this podcast in the first episode ever.
Yeah.
I said, what does it mean to be a Nahanee? She says, you're educated. You're educated. You go to school. She gave a fuck about school.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is why when Lily was struggling in math,
Yeah.
I went out and I got her workbooks. I got two, one for her and one for Granny, so they could do it over the phone or over video chat.
Yeah.
Really?
Sanakula was the first one to get grade 12 math. A female Squamish Nation to get math, to graduate with math.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mom was. Because we graduated.
Yeah.
We all
I was
did
like,
grade 12. Well, I
yeah.
think Cease graduated too, so Cease and Warren and I did.
Everybody graduated? Grade
Yep.
12?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think my dad graduated when he was like 21. And even then, I don't even think he really finished it. I think they were just like, get the fuck out of here. I think that's what
You gotta
happened.
go.
I think he
You're
was like
too
that
old.
old in high school, and they were like, okay, man.
You gotta go.
Okay, you come back every year, so I guess something you got to pick something up, and they just swept him out of there. I feel like.
What is in that? It was Tech Voc, right?
Where you went to high school?
Yeah, I think it was technical vocation school, something like that.
I don't know. I don't even know. It's on his podcast, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Would you like to be a guest on Our Storytellers? Because all you have to do to connect with us is just email info@ourstorytellers.ca, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. That sounds like a voicemail, which I think is hilarious. But if you email us, we'll give you a call and we'll listen to your story, and we'll probably film it. So please reach out to us if you're interested in being a guest, because we love to share stories from all walks of life, from all different experiences. We think that everybody's story is valuable and that you can learn from anybody's story. So please email us, and we'll schedule a call with you as soon as we can. That also sounds like a voicemail, but back to the podcast. What do you want? People in Lily's generation to start doing? Like, what do you want Indigenous people to start doing today?
Start spending more time with family. Family is important. Whether it's immediate family or not, to surround yourselves with the people you love. Treasure them. You never know when you're going to lose them.
Yeah, are you gonna be writing more books over there?
Granny was the writer. Yeah.
That's so. Okay, so spend time with family. Why? How come? I feel like I love these guys.
I just feel there's not enough of it here. There's a lot of I don't know the word for it. There's a lot of trauma and stuff here, right? And people are just kind of sweeping it under the rugs and not dealing with it. And well, by dealing with it, I think that they let it go, right? If you just let it sit there, it's going to keep coming back and haunting you. If you surround yourself with family and deal with things as they come up, life is so much easier.
Interesting. I agree. It took me forever to figure that out, though. I feel like.
I know. I'm 47, so I'm just getting it.
I feel like family. It's so hard because some people say, right? Like, some people say your family is who you choose to be around, which I agree with that.
That is, yeah.
Partly, like, because when I was growing up, like. I felt like I had family everywhere, whether blood or not, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Because your friends, you become so much more than just friends after you've been friends for so long.
Right.
You become a part of their family, and they become a part of yours.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's like the blood side of the family, which I also think has its place too. Like, I feel like some people say like don't choose your like. I think there's a boundary there's a healthy boundary, but I also feel like at the same time, maybe this is naive of me, there is some type of loyalty to blood family. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it does exist. Although if you look at the way that our families are, blood family doesn't seem to stop them from hurting each other.
Yeah, that's true, actually. It's sad, You shouldn't be
It's like
walking over your family like that or treating them like that, taking advantage of them or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hurting them in any form is just...
Going to the People's Assembly really kind of brought that home in a community way, because that's one of the things I kind of kept hearing out of all of those resolutions that were coming forward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting that was the overreaching thing that I picked up out of the whole day of sitting there. So was that these people are all family, but they're all fighting, and there's harm coming to vulnerable and disabled people in our community because of the administration causing harm by using colonial practices. They're continuing to use those. And they don't seem to care that they're causing harm to the families. Like, you put a counselor in a housing unit before you put people that are vulnerable living with disabilities. And everybody in the community knows this, so they're all talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, somebody gets up to talk and they go, oh, that one doesn't belong here. They're hiding up in Squamish. I thought, holy smokes.
Someone said that.
Yeah, somebody actually said it. I was listening to all the old ladies were sitting around me. So I was listening to, you know, their undercurrent conversation that was going on while people would get up to speak. And I thought,
That's crazy.
wow, like, we're a community that's completely related in biological ways,
Yeah.
in kinship and familial ways, and they don't seem to have issues with allowing things to happen to some of the most vulnerable in our community.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know,
I know,
how does
right?
it make sense?
It doesn't.
I have a question. Do you think that it would be reversed if, like, if people were rewarded for taking care of the most vulnerable and recognized for taking care of the most vulnerable people within the community, do you think that that would change the behavior?
If we
Celebrated.
Celebrated instead of
Like, if
shifting the focus. Right?
exactly.
Shift-
Like,
yeah.
imagine if I took care of everybody in the community or whatever, everybody who had some barriers in the community, and that was celebrated.
Yeah.
Would that change how that operated?
I think that with time there would be an opportunity to shift a dialogue in a very big and meaningful way. But it would have to be big and meaningful
Yeah.
to cause, I think, that kind of a shift. So I think it's possible, because you see communities where the community takes care of their people.
Yeah, it's a community that
First,
raises everybody, right?
Yeah, Seabird is a really good example, because I've heard that the people that needed housing got housed first before the chief took a house.
See, that's how it should be,
You know,
right?
leading by those examples in the way that's how hereditary chiefs did things
Yeah.
prior to interruption and fracture of our communities. You know?
See, maybe we're just missing something. I think we're just missing a family teaching or something.
Understanding how connected our families really are. It's like understanding genealogy is a really important thing, because in this case, it's one of the things that's been taken away from our children is their basic genealogy. Who's your family?
Yeah.
And I think if they had that and they connected that and they were taught that from a young age, the way that Indigenous teachings work, you start them young, tell them who their family are,
Yeah.
you know, and keep telling them.
Yeah.
So they grow up, they become grounded, they become more confident, they know who they are, they know where they're from, they know.
Exactly.
So, and they're like basic things that build a confident person, a confident young person.
Yeah.
When you know where you are and you know the land you stand on is where you're from,
Yeah.
then you have a base to build that, to build who you become.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
It's simple.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have knowing your family helped you in life, do you think?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Knowing more about your family history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to pack up and go back for a visit?
I might.
You might.
Yeah.
See some cousins?
Yeah.
It's a long trip.
Yeah, 19 hours on the bus.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's a long.
That's a day on the bus.
Yeah.
That's really north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hazelton is very north.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
I gotta look this up. That is just wild.
Yeah, they have Old Hazelton and New Hazelton.
Hazelton. Why have I never heard of this? I know people from Gitxsan. That is north. That is definitely north.
Yeah.
Long boat ride too. Dang. That is wild.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you want to dedicate this podcast to anybody?
To Barbara Weiss.
To Granny.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to ask us or anything like that?
No.
No, you're good?
No. Yeah.
Is there anything that we should have asked you that we
I don't think so.
didn't?
No.
No.
That was a good podcast.
You have fun?
Yeah.
It was easy. Not
Yeah.
bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want, in the pursuit of finding out who people are
Yeah.
and talking to
They're
women
just-
from
yeah.
our nation
Yeah.
to highlight their stories is
Definitely.
is
It's important, right?
has been our focus, right? To
Yeah.
really want to hear them
Yeah.
and make people feel like they're heard. So
Yeah.
it becomes the focus, right?
Yeah.
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 I think so.
Well, Kelly, thank you so much for coming on the Our Storytellers podcast.
Yeah.
And you always have a space to come tell the world anything you want to tell
Yeah,
them
definitely.
via camera.
Yeah.
If you need to get some yelling out or anything like that, she does. So it's only right.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. No big deal.
Yeah. It was
Put it
fun.
there. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.